My name is Mark Pascale. I'm a curator in the Department of Prints and Drawings at the Art Institute of Chicago. I studied at a time when very few people were actually learning how to do graphic endeavor, and by that I mean drawing from life, drawing from the landscape and so forth. And instruction was based around theoretical ideas. And I think printmaking has always embraced those things. It's a medium that existed not so much for artistic invention, but largely for dissemination of information and in concert with text. And I think it's a tradition that continues. It's something that hugely informs this exhibition, and particularly the idea of some kind of cultural other or criticism of culture or social engagement. Printmaking, because of its multiplicity and its ability to reproduce a critical idea visually, has sort of been at the forefront of that throughout our culture in the West. Something that came out of the mouth of Elizabeth Catlett, one of the great artists of our time, who's still alive at 90-something and still making prints, and that was that she was asked once how she felt about the idea of protest art. And her I can't remember her exact response, but the gist of it was that protest art was preaching to the converted, and that artists would better serve themselves if they made things that were central to their line of thinking. And even though she continues to make those kinds of things herself, and for her the act of making an image of an African-American person was an act of sedition, in the broader context of the art world, she understood she understood what the chances were of failing in a career if one devoted oneself exclusively to that, unless you were in the realm of political cartoon or something along those lines, which of course has a deep resonance with this. I mean, I think it informs this. The act of making a satirical or editorial remark visually has served all printmakers well for centuries. Looking at the exhibition, anytime I look at an exhibition with this in mind, I try to think about all the work that was submitted and accepted, try to think about the motifs and the tropes within that, and the method of operation. And I tried to pass out the awards and be kind of magnanimous about it, so that I was picking from different ways of working. One of the things that's very difficult in an exhibition like this is that I knew coming in that there would be work that was visually rather unsatisfying or not beautiful in a traditional sort of way, but that might embody the spirit of the exhibition and its idea and execution better than something that was very beautiful. On the other hand, it might be possible to find something that did both, and I think the reason why I chose Kit Boyce for the top award was because of that exactly. And what I found myself thinking with that was that it was a work, as a curator of an art museum, I tried to use this idea, and that is there something here that I would want for the Art Institute of Chicago's collection? And that was the one that I came away thinking I would like to have that. That's a work I could support for acquisition, which is very difficult to do, and because we have to reason it in terms of the entire 100,000 object collection. And it's also a work of great physical sensitivity and beauty and fun, and its presentation is flawless. It's an original artist frame that is incredibly appropriate to the piece, and it's a total package I thought was quite exciting, and it's beautifully designed, and the person who made it is a really good artist. So they served all those purposes, and so that's why I got the top award. The secondary awards, one of which was made with a traditional process, but presented in a very untraditional way, and that would have been the Dalfor piece, embodied some of the same properties that I thought were great about Kit Boyce's piece, and that is to say that it's a print that's extremely well executed and beautifully wrought, but it extends beyond the mere presence of marks translated from inscriptions into plates or scratchings into plates. It's taking the entire run and turning it into an object, and to also use the concept of time and memory in a way that is quite lyrical. And I have to say that I have a knee-jerk reaction to anything having to do with Darfur. I've never been there. I feel bad about the people there, but my sympathy doesn't extend fully to the kind of emotional hysteria that's been created by Hollywood stars speaking out about it. Somehow I think that we can be ambassadors as much as we can as a culture, but we can't be the ambassador to always and to everything. And so in some ways, this idea of marking and counting and presenting this kind of symbolic embodiment of flesh as a print in a total edition was a kind of a very beautiful thought. I can imagine that person sitting in front of the White House with that plate, marking away or rubbing the plate with ink and pulling impressions and like letting them fall around her like tokens or little pieces of poetry, waiting for the president or someone of power to take notice and ask why are they doing that. And so all these thoughts occur to me when I look at that piece, and I felt I liked it for all those reasons. And I thought it was hugely successful for those reasons. It said what it needed to say. It could have been about a lot of different things. It didn't have to be about Dalfor. It could have been about any place where people who are vulnerable are abused and taken advantage of. And so it speaks beyond its specific message. The other work, the kind of two pieces, the vials of ink made from walnut extractions, and the little bags of compost. Those are pieces that, just as renewable things, as regenerating things, as sustainable things. There are several instances in the exhibition where artists are working in that way, and I could have given an award to any one of them, but this one I thought, because it was something that was regional, local, something that they were deriving from their own environment, but could reach beyond that environment in a really big way, and to do it in this kind of, printmaking is sort of this integer or this element, and everything about it is elemental. I mean, the ink doesn't need to be used for making drawings; it could be used for writing. The compost is just enough to start a seed, or a couple of them, and so it serves to remind everybody that you can find the resources that you need within your own sphere, and you don't have to be dependent on others to get the things that you need to go on. And I thought that was the ultimate sedition in a certain way.